Hi, I'm Kira from the channel Kira the Scrivener, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite Victorian novel. This was interesting for me to find because I found that I was in the middle before I even discovered that I knew Victorian literature. So I didn't choose the first book that I read, but the first book that I remember being completely captivated by, and that was Elizabeth and Her German Garden by Elizabeth Von Arnim. This is a semi-biographical novel about her life and her experiences of being a woman. It was released in 1898 and deals with this woman who is a young mother of several children who wants to escape British society and live in her husband's rural estate and just a garden. She is very tired of all of the socializing, all of these things, all of these constant demands on her life. Von Arnim was born Mary Annette Bucamp, and she was born in Australia, but then she immigrated very early in her life to England, married a German aristocrat, which is where she got the Von Arnim from, had a very tumultuous marriage with lots of children and lots of affairs, and then after his death, she remarried to Russell and became a Countess of England. So her career goes from the late Victorian era all the way through the Edwardian into World War I and then into the 1920s as well. She also has some interesting connection to many famous writers, tutoring her children and her having affairs with several others. And yeah, she's a very interesting woman, but I really liked this book because it's very quiet. It is very, very funny. It is very short, and it just allows a woman to be a woman. It reminded me similarly of one of my favorite other books. This is Lucy Maud Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables, which I don't think gets enough credit, even though it's not Victorian, so I won't talk about it too much here, but I really think that it looks at this quiet inner world of this and relationships in which we have. And one of my favorite ongoing jokes in this book is that there's this woman writer who is like so excited about writing, and she comes to the town and all she does is talk about writing, and everyone is like, are women supposed to be writers? Can they write? And all of these things, and these men are having these like really big, philosophical discussions on when women can write and if they can write, all of these things. Meanwhile, obviously this is written by a woman. So I really enjoy her writing. I find her very funny, very witty, and it has the kind of cottagecore vibe of like going and sitting and being quiet and wanting time and wanting to find yourself when you were forced into an adult role at an earlier age than you should have. And yeah, it doesn't have as many profound themes as some of the other Victorian literature that I read, but I feel like it's underrated in its quietness and its reflectiveness. And I think those are qualities that are sometimes overlooked in literature when we remember it. And I think that Elizabeth Von Arnim and her writing is very owed a reconsideration as Victorian literature.